Greetings, Skill Incarnate bringing you all the latest indie gaming goodness. Welcome back as we check out another indie game. This time we're looking at the Thaumaturge. This game is developed by Fool's Theory and published by my friends at 11-Bit Studios. These guys made the excellent game Frostpunk, which I've also reviewed. The Thaumaturge takes place during an alternate version of Warsaw during the 1900s. You play Wictor, a Thaumaturge, a kind of supernatural investigator who hunts down hostile beings called Salutors. You do this by using your detective skills and your ability to manipulate people's emotions. Now this game is a mix of detective game and RPG, and let me tell you, it's one of the best games I've played this year. But I would expect nothing less from 11-Bit Studios. Now I'm very excited to play this game. I've been watching it for quite some time. But it's going to be a long one. So strap yourself in as we explore the world of the Thaumaturge.
For years I've been seeing you in my dreams, and lately more and more. I know it's you, but I can no longer recognize your face. I don't know if I'd recognize you if I saw you. I hope your condition hasn't worsened much since you last wrote. I can hardly imagine what a nightmare you're going through. Remember, you're not alone. I'm sure our father would be happy to help, if only you asked him. I assure you that for now, I haven't said a word to him about your search or your health, just as you requested. He doesn't know your intention, and with God as my witness, he'll not find out from me. I know you think the only thing that can help you is a miracle. But such itinerant miracle workers, preachers, and folk mystics often take advantage of those in grave condition who are desperate or seeking help. I hope the man you're pursuing can actually ease your mind. But if not, remember that in the end, we will find a way to help you. Just because we can't see it now, does not mean it doesn't exist. Send word as soon as you get there. I want to know you are safe. With as much love as I have. Ligia.
Could you spare a moment for me? I'd like to send a telegram.
Of course. Pardon me, sir, but are you feeling all right?
Yes, thank you.
You're not looking your best.
Thank you.
What's your message?
So this game, similar to Mass Effect, has a dialogue system, and based on your responses, you actually shape your personality. Will you be a kind and humble man? Will you be full of pride? And will you be aggressive, or will you try to solve things through diplomacy? The choice is yours, and depending on your choice, you'll get a different type of game. Now, I'm going to try and play it straight.
Take this down, please. Arrived. I think I have found him. I hope he will receive me. I will write as soon as I am able.
And payment?
On receipt.
Anything to add at the end?
Now, I have a very, very tense relationship with my father, but my sister is very close to me. So I'm gonna say hello to my sister.
Please add my love to you, my sister.
Touching. From whom?
My name is Wictor Szulski. Szulski. And Wictor with a W, not a V.
Interesting name. Where's this headed?
Warsaw. Russia.
And this is supposedly Georgia. Russia here and Russia there. Russia everywhere, on every map.
Maps change. I know. Let's get on with it.
Pardon?
I was talking to myself. Which way to the village?
The coachman is picking up the mail. Maybe he'll give you a ride.
Thank you.
Loony.
So our goal now is to head into town. We are looking for a healer, and the healer we're going to find is, shall we say, famous. Or infamous, depending on your definition. We also find these lost letters around, and it is actually worth hunting these down, because we can get upgrade points to our Thaumaturgy skill if we can find more of these. Also, being a detective, all of this information can come in handy at some point. Dear Anthony, it feels like ages have passed since your last letter. Or maybe it's the winter that makes everything good and warm seem distant. As you can guess, the life of an exile does not spoil me. Years ago, I was uprooted from my homeland and sent to a foreign land among foreign people to fight under the Russian banner. How am I today? I live among people who hate me. I'm losing my mind and cultivating the land that I fertilized with the blood and flesh of its sons. And I can't leave. I can't stop reminiscing. Death seems to be my only means of escape. P.S. I don't think this letter will make it through censorship, but if it does, please tell Anelka that the thought of her brought me solace until the very end. Now, because this is an alternate version of Poland, there is a little bit of difference in the politics going on. And it appears that there's a bit of a border dispute between Russia and the neighbouring countries. Dear Janko, please stop with the gentry snobbery and listen to what I tell you. Times are changing. You can no longer rely on property ownership. The peasants are different now, and it's not at all clear how things will turn out in the coming years. You have to look. Wherever you turn, you hear about revolts and peasant guerrillas going to the lords with pitchforks. We have to protect ourselves. Have something on the side. Some business that will allow us to live with dignity. That's why I'm telling you, for the last time, go to the bank in Telfas and take a loan against half of our assets in the Caucasus. Invest in oil business in Baku. The railroad is getting there, and the world needs kerosene. You need to act. I will send you all the documents and authorizations. Don't delay any longer. Greetings, Lou. Now, it appears the government is censoring a lot of these letters, and many of them aren't making it to their intended destination. Government censorship? That never happens. Now, we have to use our Thaumaturgy abilities which we can do to find useful items in the environment. The Telphus Herald. The tragic events of August 29 have cast a shadow on the city of Telphus, leaving it in deep mourning. Yesterday's rally, where reform proposals set out by Minister Alexander Bugin were to be discussed, and brutally interrupted by Cossack troops that stormed inside the municipal board building. Armed Cossacks entered the conference room, wreaking havoc. In the turmoil, 60 people were killed and over 100 were injured. People are shocked at another instance of unjustified aggression against the nation of Georgia. Many believe more mass strikes are also inevitable. So I believe we've searched everything in the area. We're going to go and talk to the coachman.
Hello. Are you going to the village by any chance?
Hello there. Where else? There's nowhere to go here, sir. The station, the village, and the cemetery. That's all. A horse can't go any higher.
The village is what interests me.
Well, if you've got reason to be there, climb in.
So I'm going to ask about the healer.
So is it just locals living in the village?
Who else would want to live in a shithole like this?
I actually meant, is there anyone visiting, a guest?
Ah, you came for some healing. Well, he's no guest here. He's been here months, my friend. The people are tormented, so he's sure got folks to heal.
Where might I find him?
I bet he's still in the tavern. He prays this time of day. Oh, he prays a heck of a lot. You getting in, or what?
Time to head into town.
I'd be grateful.
Always nice to have someone to shoot the breeze with. Nothing to see around here. This is everything. Hard to get lost in this place. Head to the tavern over there, past the little square, up the steps. They'll tell you where the preacher's at. Or this time of day, he'll be there himself.
Thank you.
So now it's time to go and find the healer who can hopefully help cure my affliction. Now we've arrived at the village, our goal is to find a healer of great renown. Someone who can help with the affliction that's preventing us from being able to use some of our abilities. Now my apologies, the pronunciation of some of the words here is a bit difficult for me. And I'm going to try and do this as best I can. Proletariatus Brazzola. Soon the day will come when the people throw off their hated shackles with one stroke of the mighty arm. Hardened by work and struggle with misery, they will get rid of the despised Tsar. May the recent events, so agonizing for many, be a torch that will kindle the flame of just revolution. It will only take a few people to raise their heads proudly and abandon their work for a flame to become an inferno that will consume the oppressor and cleanse our land. It's already happening. Workers in major cities are preparing for action, and the country folk are joining the fray. The hour of trial is upon us. Let us not lose heart. So it appears that the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Gentlemen, is this the tavern here?
Hey, Putnik. You coming from far?
Indeed, I'm tired.
Nice boots. They warm?
Now these guys are going to throw down with us no matter what response I give. So I might as well get ready to throw down. Now, depending on your answer, you can end up feeding your flaws, and this has had a double-edged sword. But let's given no matter what I answer, he's gonna
Actually,
want
I
to fight.
have particularly warm boots. Thanks.
And sooner or later, these might kick their arses.
Don't tempt me, Luca. Don't tempt me. Give me a sec. Got to sort out formalities with this tourist.
It's your snummy. We're the Tsar's soldiers.
Those don't look like soldiers' faces. Closer to thieves.
I don't think he'll talk to us voluntarily.
So it's on for our first fight. Luckily for us, these guys may be soldiers, but they're certainly not very trained and they're not very well armed. Now, the combat system in the game has a variety of different attacks and skills, but basically everything's a trade-off. A quick attack will do less damage, but it hits hard, it hits fast, and you run very little risk of being counter-attacked. A strong attack can be devastating, but it has a big wind-up and you run the risk of being hit before you can attack them. So it's all about the balancing act of making sure you're keeping your own damage down and also dealing as much damage to them to end the fight as quick as possible. So I'm going to take a hit here. Unfortunately for you, I hit a lot harder than you do. So here we can see a little bit about the queue, and based on what's happening in the order here, we can try and plan our attacks out. So he's going to hit me with a cut, and I think I'm going to lead with a heavy attack. Wabam. And you can see here that either of these attacks is going to kill him. So we can go for a quick attack and end this fight right now.
Serves the Ruskies right. They won't report us. They'll be too embarrassed to admit some cripple got the better of them.
So much for the Tsar soldiers. We smoked them both. And we beat them without even having to use our powers.
Good boy.
Now, a friend over here may look familiar to you, but we'll get to him in a minute. News from Yerevan. Our correspondents report the newly appointed Governor-General of the Yerevan province, Prince Napoleon Joseph Jerome Bonaparte, has arrived in town. The highest officials were present at the welcoming ceremony, followed by dinner with representatives from Yerevan's most eminent families. The Governor-General's address to the townspeople is expected in a few days. And here we have the healer. And yes, that is Rasputin.
Forgive me, sir. Is your name Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin?
I forgive you.
I'm sorry. It's just I've been looking for you for a very long time, and...
And you expected a thinking simpleton, an illiterate who swindles sick people and claims he can speak to God himself. I already said I forgive you.
Yes, I've heard. Especially in Petersburg. I've also heard about the healings, even hopeless cases. Inexplicable ones.
And what do you believe in?
So, we can be a skeptic, or we can just tell him we believe in him. But I'm gonna tell the truth.
If you help me, I'll believe all of it. And please believe me when I say I've tried everything short of a miracle. And I know the meaning of that word. I'm a Thaumaturge.
Where are you coming from?
So we're going to talk about how we've tracked him down. We've been following Rasputin for quite some time.
I first learned of you in Paris. A charismatic miracle worker from Russia. I even heard about you from my doctors. By the time I got to Petersburg, you were already gone. I've crossed almost 3 continents, through Siberia, India, and half of Europe. But if you're asking me about my origins, I'm from Poland.
From which Poland? The Russian one, the German one, or the part that belongs to Austria?
From Warsaw.
Do you have a name?
Wictor Szulski.
On my path, I've already come across people who've lied to me about their problems, and then gone around calling me a charlatan. After them, others arrived, with pitchforks and torches, and I had to endure insults and spit in my face, or flee for my life. And now you say you're a wizard from an imaginary country that no one has seen on a map in over 100 years. Forgive my amusement. I haven't had my first coffee yet.
I forgive you, and I'm still asking for help.
Prove you're a Thaumaturge, and I'll hear what you have to say.
So we are better off being honest.
That's partly the issue I wanted to speak to you about.
Does that mean you give up?
That means I'll try, but I don't know.
All right, all right. I've met a few of your kind, so I know what you're capable of. Find something in this tavern that belongs to me, and tell me something only I could know.
First, I need to have something personal that belongs to you to learn your trace. It's a sort of pattern I would use to recognize the other objects.
Smell this.
So the detective portion of the game, it involves you investigating, finding items that belong to someone, and piecing together their story. And sometimes it's a combination of the items, talking to people, and also getting information from other people around to pull together the story that you need, or more importantly, to piece together the facts of the case. Rasputin has a magnetic zeal and passion. He's a man with an attractive personality, strong and fierce, who is easy to follow. One just has to be careful not to be burned by the flame of his ardor. So let's examine the object in close.
Have you figured anything out yet?
I'll return to you in a moment.
I can hardly wait.
So now what we need to do is to make our observations. And we'll do this by using our Thaumaturge powers to find this item that belongs to Rasputin.
Let's take a look around.
Now, if you ever told me I'll be playing a game where I'm bros with Rasputin, the guy that murdered and did a number of unspeakable crimes that I can't even mention on YouTube, then I would have laughed at you. But here we are. Apparently, he is a bit of a bro in this game.
Damn it.
So we've got a hair cloth. And here's some other items
Who would have
from...
thought there were such layers of passion within him?
We've got a prayer book, and we can see here that the scent of courtly powder, which is soft and warm and also pierced by the thorns of impending separation and longing. So we know that Rasputin, he was a bit of a Chad. He got around, shall we say. He never had a problem with the ladies. Who would have thought this priest had such passion? Surprising, the mask of a healer conceals an outstanding lover, irresistible to women's hearts and bodies. Perhaps this is one of his healing methods. He was healing them all right.
No, that's still not it.
So I've got word, deed, and mind. And, we found everything. Excellent.
What have you learned, wizard?
Well, you're a zealous man. It permeates every level of your personality, your faith, your abilities.
Not such an impressive discovery.
I haven't finished yet. In Petersburg, you left behind a very devoted and very young lady-in-waiting.
At least one, my friend. Have a seat.
Absolute Chad.
Tell me again, why were you looking for me?
I'm actually curious about the lady.
I can't help but ask you about that young lady from Petersburg.
Careful, I'm starting to like you. But not enough to tell you about Petersburg. How do you think I might help you?
A few years ago, I attempted to catch a wild Salutor, and that ended with me losing contact with my first Salutor. That means I can't develop my abilities. I know that my Uber is there. Sometimes he shows himself, but I can't feel the link anymore. Generally speaking, I'm losing it more and more each day. If it disappears, my mind... I'll lose my sense of reality. I'll fall into madness.
I don't know if I can help you.
So, something tells me that if I try and pay him, he's gonna laugh at me. He's Rasputin. He has access to unlimited resources. I think honesty is the best policy here.
I don't have much dignity left. I'm prepared to beg for your help.
That won't be necessary, Wictor. I meant I don't know if I'm able to help you. My gift is something I've received from God. Some I've helped, others I can't say. And I've never treated a Thaumaturge.
Maybe just do the same with me as with the others.
We can try. Focus on my voice. You are safe. As long as you can hear my voice, you are safe. Let me gaze into your mind. Let me see through your eyes. Let me...
Where am I? Rasputin. There's no one in here.
So we're in the prison of our own mind, and Rasputin is trying to find out what
I need
is
to get out of here.
afflicting us. What you saw here is our Salutor, a creature that we've bound to ourselves previously, but
What
we
is this
can't
sound?
contact him.
Shackles?
You're blind. You've never grasped the science of spotting the perfectly obvious. Can you still not see?
What do I supposedly not see?
Flaw clouds your vision. It always has. Pride. Your damned pride and sense of superiority.
I must have gotten that from you, Father.
You'll lose, idiot. You always do. You're even losing against yourself. You can't see, but can you at least hear? You're weak, stupid, and blind.
Thanks, Dad.
Do you hear me? Do you? Do you?
can see, Father. Clearly.
Will you be lying there much longer? I wanted to sweep.
Where's Rasputin?
In the cemetery, chasing away evil spirits and giving people comfort. You all right?
Yes, absolutely.
I wanted to sweep.
I'm just heading out. It's so good to see you again. And something else. I saw him clear as day. It wasn't a vision. It was a Salutor, unbound by a pact. A wild one. And if so, that means there's someone in the village with a flaw that's attracting it.
You talking to me?
I was praying.
I wanted to sweep.
Man, that woman really likes sweeping. So I guess we'll let her get to it. True to her word, she's at it already. See if there's anything behind the counter we can take? No. So what we've learned is that there is a Salutor that is not connected to any Thaumaturge, and we can get that Salutor for ourselves. But it is
I felt something.
very risky.
Where is it?
They'll all gawk, but without lifting a finger. Just, Vesna will bring it, Vesna will help. But if Vesna needs help with something, there's nobody to be found. That's not yours, don't touch! All these newcomers causing more problems.
Charming lady. We're going to see more of her later on. Just going to have a bit of a look around. Using our Thaumaturge powers to...
Am I sensing?
Ah, here we go. So we've got some dish shards. The broken ceramic trembles with anger and frustration. The quarrel erupted suddenly, spewing out bile of mutual complaints and grievances. Its sweet and pungent taste, stupefied, compelled, screaming, finger-pointing and hurting. A damaged axe shaft. The shaft is overgrown with thorns of bitter words, but there are others, warm, delicate as rose petals. They betray a love for someone who's not afraid of thorns, a love that is difficult but not accepting of violence. In this house lives a married couple who do not mince their words. They argue violently, loudly until they're out of breath, but they persist. This information will come in handy later on. So let's head over to the cemetery and check on your boy Rasputin.
Excuse me. I need to get to the local cemetery. Could you give me a lift?
I've only just come back from the post office this morning. I'm not getting the horse going again. Back to the cemetery. It's not like anyone there is going to run away. And look, my horse is more dead than alive.
So we can have a bit of a
I'll be
look
right
around
back.
and find out how we can get the coachman to help us out. Now, it makes me question the ethics of manipulating people's emotions to get them to do what you need, but at the end of the day we are hunting demonic beings, so I guess we have to pick the lesser evil. The shovel showed traces of mud and ice. The coachman had to free the wagon wheels from the soft soil that had engulfed them. The coachman used the rag to wipe the sweat from his forehead. The rag reeked with the sour odour of fatigue. Attempts to free the wheels from the soft soil made the spine crack like fishbone and the muscles burn with fire. And no one would help. Such was his job, such was his fate. The coachman is tired and weary. He's worked hard at unloading the wagon alone, and he dreams of a moment of rest. I can relieve his suffering. Now, one might question how making this very tired coachman drive me around even more would help him rest, but at the end of the day,
I'm not going anywhere.
gotta do what you gotta do.
Maybe you'll change your mind and drop me off at the cemetery after all.
Well, on the other hand, this place isn't much more exciting than the cemetery, and I meant to take the horse out for a ride, so get on.
So our goal now is to head into the cemetery and talk with our bro, Rasputin. Rasputin is giving a service for one of the village members that recently passed away. But do we suspect foul play?
You're alive. Does that mean I helped, Thaumaturge?
You did indeed.
I see him. My Uper. He's back. I can feel our bond growing stronger as each moment passes.
I'm happy for you, but do restrain your joy. We're in the cemetery.
Let's thank him.
I don't have enough words to thank you for what you've done for me. I haven't felt this way in years.
I'm glad I could help.
When I heard you were at the cemetery, I was sure I'd see you resurrecting the dead.
Not yet. Today I'm just praying for rest for Vasily's soul. The whole village is suffering after his loss. He was the elder here.
He cursed this place. Since he died, darkness and misfortune have hung over the village.
You see? To them, every harm comes down to witchcraft. They believe that after Vasily's passing, the village was possessed by some monster that howls at night or some other Yavits.
So their superstition may have an element of truth.
What changed in the village after the elder died?
It's all dreadful, sir. Everything's gone topsy-turvy. When folks get to arguing now, they're so hot-headed, before you know it, they're at one another's throats. Ladies have no patience for kids, nor lads for ladies, nor neighbors for neighbors. Any word might seem offensive and like an insult waiting to happen. Then you've got to fight.
Tragedies such as Vasily's death leave their mark on everyone. It takes time to come to terms with something like this. That doesn't mean this place is possessed by dark forces.
But we need to know more. We need to understand if this death is mundane or whether it's related to the Salutor.
How did this elder die?
There was a fire, sir. Flames shooting sky high, and him burning, swearing, speaking curses. And the curse stuck. Those ruins seem a profaned place now. A wicked spirit has taken over the blighted land.
Don't encourage her. Once she gets going, it can't be stopped.
This could also be the work of a Salutor.
What do you mean?
So now we'll have to explain to our new friend about the threat that's hanging over the village. We know that this guy died in a fire, but did he die because he went insane and did it himself, or is there something more nefarious?
As you were healing me, I had a dream, a vision. But on the borderline of sleep and wakefulness, I thought I saw a Salutor. That's what might be influencing the villagers in Wailing at night.
They're good people, but none too bright, Victor. I'm afraid they might be talking about the train.
The wise woman was saying the evil spirit is a book of hatch.
Does the creature hunting you rattle chains, slither around, and have a mouth full of giant fangs?
A book of hatch.
Where did this elder live?
I'll show you. Let's allow Vasily's soul to rest for today. Amen.
So we now have the name of the creature, the Bukovac. We'll need to talk to our friend and head over to the village. So this is the homestead that was burnt down. We don't know if it is foul play.
What do you expect to find in this place? The fire was almost a year ago.
Time doesn't matter much here. I'm looking for clues and personal traces that will lead me to whoever is carrying the flaw that lured the Salutor here.
I see. I thought I could be helpful to you, but I don't really understand what you're telling me.
So now we get to school the great Rasputin in how flaws in Salutors work. The inner workings of the Thaumaturge.
Above all, flaws are deeply hidden marks left in human souls. They form under the influence of tragic events.
What does that have to do with Salutors? Is that Latin?
Yes, from the word newcomer. People have always taken Salutors to be spirits, demons, or imps.
Like from those fairy tales, the wise woman and the other old crones tell the locals.
Sometimes, those sorts of fairy tales and legends describe how humans perceive a Salutor. They don't take a physical form. Salutors are attracted to the flaws hidden within people. Thaumaturges discover these flaws inside someone, bring them to the surface, and adopt them to lure the Salutor. Those are the moments when I've usually failed. I haven't been able to hold on to a Salutor. I didn't know how to bind one to myself.
What about you? Do you have a flaw?
So I'm a bit suspicious of our friend. I believe he healed me, but I don't know for what I don't know why he's working, but for now, we'll play along.
I bear the flaw of pride.
I wouldn't have guessed.
And now? Thanks to your help, I can once again discover people's flaws and the Salutors hiding behind them. And I think I'm now able to catch my second Salutor.
So now we can talk about how we get multiple Salutors and the risks around them.
If I do manage to catch another Salutor, that would be a very rare occurrence, in fact. An ordinary Thaumaturge wouldn't even try more than once. Only a few have multiple Salutors.
Why?
So I'm gonna I'm gonna be honest with him. We've been playing it straight so far. We'll continue to do that.
Some have lost their lives trying, others their senses. I was close to madness. I lost my sense of reality. I didn't know what was true. But I know I can do it. I'm almost 100% sure.
Isn't this exactly the sort of thinking that caused your problems, that led you to me?
That doesn't matter anymore.
Then what's changed?
This time, I've got you with me.
Let's see if he'll come with us.
Why did you want to come here with me?
I have never gotten to know a Thaumaturge so closely. I'd like to learn as much as possible about your abilities.
People always leave behind individual bits of their personality, even on everyday objects and such. I can decipher the thoughts and actions imprinted on these objects, and then match them to their owner. This lets me gather immense knowledge about a person, especially if I need to find someone.
What else can you do?
I need to look around this place a little more.
I won't stop you.
So your boy Rasputin, he has his own...
Is the smell of mystery.
He has his own motivation. And I don't think he's helping us for completely altruistic reasons, but we need his help, so we're going to try and keep him on side for now.
A horrible death.
The blood sounds like suffering. It flowed quickly. The wound inflicted with the scissors wasn't large, but it was accurate. Life left the body, the heart went into a spasm, and the mind recognized the end. It lasted for some time, and then the flames came, and the pain resounded anew. So this guy was 100% not self-deleted. He was killed. A destroyed door frame. By some miracle it survived the fire. Fear has embedded itself deep in the fabric of the door frame. Fear of the flames and trepidation about losing a loved one. So we found a trace of an impetuous person. And it's pretty obvious who I'm suspecting right now. There was a certain person in the village that was quite impetuous.
True fear.
The doll is caked with a hard crust of fear. The layers are like the varnish on an age-old painting, a child's fear, a girl's terror, a young woman's dread. They form the cocoon smelling of turpentine that constricts the throat and forces tears from the eyes. We now know that Vesna is the person who is responsible. Now we can head back. There's nothing else here. And confront her about the murder.
This house was always full of fear, and its owner was still alive when the house caught fire. Someone wanted to kill him. The fire only covered up the crime. The murder gave birth to the flaw that you attached to, didn't it? I'll find you when I track down the murderer. I know who owns this doll. Maybe I should give them back to her. She ought to know more about what happened here.
So with this conclusion, Vesna smells of fear, her nerves are badly strained, her heart is trembling, her fingers are stiff from anxiety, and her mind wanders, lost in the wilderness of fear. I may be able to find her home and discover what's behind her jittery condition.
Wictor! I hope you've got what you want now, Thaumaturge, because I think it's time to get out of here.
Why the hurry, Father? We're the Tsar's men. How about the donation for the Tsar's army?
There are no Russian outposts here.
I think this is the guy with the nice boots.
You're the guy who trashed our comrades?
You're about to find out what my boots look like up close. And this time I'm not going to be nice.
I can do exactly the same to all of you.
He's not as weak as he looks. He actually looks better than he did the other day.
But not counting the priest. He's still alone.
Not anymore, I'm not.
So now, because of our investigation and finding the various items in the town, we have some skill points to use. We have our first Salutor, and we're going to spend some points here. With the gamble ability, we can get a chance that we will deal extra damage, and double damage at that, so that's quite significant. And we can also make every attack on the enemy deal the maximum damage. That is incredibly powerful in combat. Now, I've found that the best skills, at least for my playing style, are to maximize damage. We want to do massive damage. We want to take out enemies quickly and decisively, and that way we don't have to focus on healing skills because they never get the chance to damage us, or if they do, they're that badly hurt that they really can't do a lot of damage at all. So let's try our new abilities. So here we can launch a strong attack by taking away enemy focus. And focus is pretty much, think of it like their armor. When we remove that, we place them in a weakened state. And I'm going to use my Upia. The enemy has lost all of their focus and is now in the breakdown state. What I can do now is launch a strong attack. And we can also use the ability. Oh, look at that. That's going to do massive damage, but we'll stick with Bloody Penance because I don't need to heal myself. We'll save that for later. Boomski. Ouch, okay, that really hurt. So what I can do now is we're going to use a special ability. And we're going to recharge our health. By killing him, we prevented him from being able to do any damage. So let's use a heavy attack. Okay, we're really taking some damage now, so we need to get some health back. We can use our vampiric attack. And this will kill him. As if stabbing him in the face 3 times wasn't enough. We can also use a special attack on this guy. And restore even more health. I am... Oh, okay. Let's get rid of... We've got a negative debuff there. That's actually quite a nasty one. So we can use the focus ability. a very useful power. It's removed the negative debuff from me, and it's also got this guy, it's got him shook. Now we can use our ultimate attack and watch his health just bottom out. Boomski.
You're right, sir.
Me? Yes, but can these Salutors also help you in a fight? Can you manipulate people and cast these demons into their minds?
Generally speaking, yes. Are you sure you're right, sir?
Call me Grigori.
Let's head back. I have to visit someone in the village who can tell me more about what happened here.
So, the Salutors have a number of applications, but their most useful one is as a combat tool. As you can see, 3 against 1, with those odds we still smoked all 3 of them. And as our Salutor stable increases, we'll get even more potent abilities. So we're going to head back to the village. And now we're going to talk to Vesna and confront her about the murder. We've arrived back at Vesna's house and we're going to see if her husband was involved in the murder too.
Now I know that woman's trace. Vesna and her husband both left traces of themselves at Vasily's burned-out farmstead. Luca sincerely loves his wife. You think he loves her strongly enough to kill for her? You're right. It'd be better to ask Vesna about that.
Let's go and have a chat.
I wanted to talk. Ma'am, please open the door.
Please go. We didn't invite any guests over.
Please open the door. I'd like to have a chat about your husband.
You'd better not be here when he gets back. He's not as talkative or polite as I am.
Man, if he's even less polite than her, he must be quite a dinner guest. So we can see that Vesna regularly hides behind her husband. Residents see Luca as a sullen churl and a recluse. However, he seems to have a soft spot. Luca was at Vasily's house on the night the murder and fire took place.
I know you're scared, but please, just open the door a crack and let me ask one quick question.
What do you want?
So we can give her the doll.
I think I've got something of yours. I found it by your father's burned-out farmhouse. You've imprinted your fear onto it. I know because I'm a Thaumaturge. I want to help.
What do you want to know?
Where can I find your husband?
In the clearing, by the forest. He's chopping wood with the others.
Thank you.
Get that thing out of here.
So now we'll go and confront her husband. The plot thickens. Was it her? Was it her husband? Was it both?
Again.
This time, it's a matter of life and death.
How is your search going?
Almost finished. I know who's attracting the Bukavach.
Can you reveal that secret?
It's Luca. It has to be Luca.
Do you still want to catch that Salutor?
Yes, absolutely.
Despite the risk?
I hope I can persuade you to come with me.
That's an enormous favor you're asking me. I hope you'll be able to return it.
I give my word.
Did you hear? We're going to see Luca Bogosian.
Now, a bunch of very angry men with axes. This may not go down the way we're hoping for it to go.
I'm not here to fight.
Luca!
You shouldn't have threatened my wife.
Why did you do this?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're the one who brought the Salutor here. The spirit that you all say arrived in the village after Vasily's death. The Salutor is what's making fear consume you all and making you hot-headed. And it's because of your flaw, which has been within you since the murder took place.
A murder might just be about to take place.
Cut off his head.
What?
Tear off his head before he opens his mouth again!
Unless you're the one that killed him.
And I'd do it again if I could. Get out of here!
Here you are, Bukavat. Vesna's flaw is mine, and you're mine.
Now, the game's difficulty in terms of the battles has been pretty easy up until now. I'm going to go with the balanced difficulty, and trust me, even on this, it's going to be quite a battle to tame this wild Salutor. We've got some points that we can use. And now we've got an additional skill. Now this guy is quite powerful. The Bukovac is creating shadows of the people it controls, and we need to destroy them in order to weaken the Bukovac to be able to capture him. My first turn, I'm going to focus on dealing as much damage as I can. And this will be an excellent starting attack. We'll take 3/4 of his health in one hit. Now the Bukovac has used a skill to place a debuff on me, and depending on the debuff, they can be quite nasty. But as a rule of thumb, you want to use your focus ability to remove debuffs as soon as possible, which we're going to do. And then we're going to use a... Actually, let's end this fight. Yeah, we're going to end the fight now. Yeah, I can kill this thing. Kill this guy, this shadow. Immediately. And I can get a bit of health back. Now we've got some more people that have spawned, and this time it's 2 against 1. We've got a lot of debuffs on me. I'm taking damage from being in suffering state, and my health is being reduced as well. We can get rid of this via the diversion skill. Now he's now weakened, so we can finish him off with our ultimate attack. And we're also going to restore a bit of our health. Now by taking him out, we have prevented him from attacking us, and we're now down to one enemy. Now I've taken a fair bit of damage, so I'm going to try and... I've got another debuff on me. I'm going to remove that debuff, and I'm also going to use the healing skill to get a bit of health back. And we're going to go for a heavy attack. Actually, let's see if we can... Yeah, no. Heavy attack. Again, it's all about the odds. What's the risk? Do we wait it out? Are we willing to take a hit in order to finish this off? Now, I could remove these debuffs, or I can kill her immediately. Now, killing her ends the fight, and in our case, we have enough health to be able to take one more hit. So we're going to immediately end this by taking the last shadow out.
You're going crazy again, you blind fool.
A little faith, Thaumaturge. Focus on what's true. My voice is true. I am the truth, you see. Look.
So we were able to not only destroy, well, disable the Bukovac, we've also tamed him and added him to our group of Salutors. Now, obviously this is a very, very powerful Salutor, and if not for our own Thaumaturge abilities, we would have been killed immediately.
Unbelievable.
How do you feel? Are you all right?
Well, I don't think I'm hallucinating, but that means I'm currently facing a crowd of furious lumberjacks with axes, so I'd say I've been better.
What? What? I'm telling the truth. I do it again. None of you understand anything. It's because of this magician. It's his fault.
The magician didn't kill Vasily. He didn't bring the evil here! You're a witch! To the stake with her! To the stake!
And you... why are you just standing there? Are you just letting them do this? Fine. I'll handle it myself. I did it before, and I can do it now.
What have you done? No, you don't need to see this.
Now, I have a few choices here. I can talk to Luca. I can force Vesna to flee. Or I can remind Luca of the proof that he loves Vesna. I'm not a big fan of this woman, so I'm not really going to do anything to help her. She tried to kill me. So whatever the circumstances are around her fate, I don't really have a lot of sympathy for her. She's killed one person by her own admission, and she was perfectly happy to kill two more.
Get out of here.
Leave me alone!
Out of my way! You've already done enough!
No, not yet.
Really? You guys wanna... You wanna throw down? Okay. I wasn't expecting that. So now we may even be able to get a second Salutor. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to attack this guy on the left. And we're going to hit him with as... He's only got one focus point actually. Let's get rid of that. And let's yeah, let's hit him with a heavy attack. No. We're gonna stun him. So this guy's now terrified, and you know what's coming. One shot, baby. Okay, he's nearly dead, so a quick attack. Oh, you want to throw down, do you? So these guys have 2 focus points. So we're going to focus on raw damage. This is going to be a pretty close fight. These guys are pretty tough, so... Okay, again, concussion. The lights out, buddy. I can't believe I'm inadvertently helping that horrible woman. In retrospect, I should have stood to the side. Fair fight now, buddy. It's just you and you against me, and I don't like your chances. Especially when I can restore my health, and you can't. Time for a dirt nap. And that was it. We managed to subdue our first Salutor. We've managed to crack our first case. And we have restored our Thaumaturge abilities. That is it for the opening act of the Thaumaturge. It was an absolute absolute blast to play this game. I would love to do a part 2, so if you guys enjoyed watching this, leave me a like, leave me a subscribe. A massive thank you to my friends at 11-Bit Studios who've been supporting me ever since I first started the channel, and I am greatly looking forward to seeing what they do next. Thanks guys. Until next time, Skill Incarnate, out.